Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to continue answering questions on the atomic structure. But before we proceed, I would like us to look at the key that we're going to be using to answer the questions. So from our key, when we see red, so red represents protons, blue represents electrons, and gray represents neutrons. So going back to the question, so in this question we are required to find the mass number. So looking at what we're given here and referring to the key, we have a red and we have a blue. So in this case we have one red and one blue. So every time we are asked to calculate the mass number, so mass number is given by the proton number plus the neutron number. So to find the relative atomic mass, which is also known as the mass number or the nucleon number, we just add the proton and the neutron. So from the question that we are given, we have one red, meaning that we have one proton. Therefore, in that question, the proton number is 1. Then the neutron number, there's no gray, so meaning the neutron number is 0. So in this case, our mass number is going to be P plus N, which is 1 plus 0, giving us 1. So going back to the question, our mass number is 1. The answer is correct. Then we have another question here. What is the total charge? So for charge, again, the key when we're looking at the charge in an atom, we established that the proton number is always equal to the electron number. Then every time we're dealing with an ion, the proton number is not equal to the electron number. So for the ion, we said we have a cation, which is a positively charged particle, and then we have an anion, which is a negatively charged particle. So this is represented by positive, which means losing electrons. Then this is represented by a negative, which means gaining electron. So how do we go about answering this question? So what is the total charge? So for the charge, we just compare the proton number and the electron number. So when the proton number is increasing, like in the given question, we have proton number 8, which in terms of electron goes to 10. So when there's an increase, it means that there's a gain, and a gain is represented by a negative charge. So the gaining here is by 2, so meaning a negative 2. So here we'll say negative 2. So it gained 2 from the initial electrons, which was 8. The answer is correct. We come back to this question. What is the total charge? So when we go back to the key, we'll realize that this structure doesn't have electrons. There is no blue in the structure, so it doesn't have electrons. So if it doesn't have electrons, it means that there was a loss of electrons, and a loss is signified by a positive. So we say a positive 1. So there was a loss of an electron. And again, the other way you can compare is if the proton number is equal to the electron number, then you know that there was either gaining or losing. But in this case, if there is no blue meaning there is no electron, it means that there was a loss. So a loss of 1 positive, and that is correct. The last one, what is the mass number? So how do we find the mass number? We go back to the formula. To find the mass number, we just add the proton and the neutron. So in this case, our proton is 10 and our neutron is 10. Therefore, in this case, it's going to be 10 plus 10, giving us 20. So the mass number here is supposed to be 20. And that is correct. The last question is, again, what is the mass number? So the mass number, you add the proton number to the neutron number. So that is going to be 8 plus 10, and that will give us 18. That will give us 18, and the answer is correct. So for many other questions, you can post in the comment section down below, then we can discuss. See you.